There's been a lot of rain here in Jerusalem this morning, raining perhaps on Donald Trump's parade, you might say. I took my morning constitutional stroll, quite a brisk one this morning, straight down to the old city, right down to the Western Wall, Al-Aqsa Mosque. Spoke to a few people on the way, and most just kind of looked, when I put this to them, with a kind of lost kind of look and a shrug of the shoulders, thinking, well, how can this actually work? It's one of those things. Certainly the Israeli far right and right has reacted with great acceptance. I mean, this is playing into the hands of the likes of Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich, who are looking for some kind of quid pro quo in terms of keeping Benjamin Netanyahu in power. Of course, as Trump here in some ways trying to protect Benjamin Netanyahu, who's under pressure, of course, with his coalition fracturing by the day, it seems. But certainly the whole concept, if you think about it, goes back to what Jared Kushner floated back in March when he was talking about the potential of waterfront property on the Gaza Strip. And you can imagine a Trump hotel, a Sands hotel, I don't know, sort of any of Trump's entourage who have lots and lots of money to invest could actually sort of see this sprouting up from the ruins of the Gaza Strip. The question, of course, is what happens to the Palestinians. And one person I spoke to in the old city said, and this was a Palestinian person, if they're going to give each Palestinian $1 million to move, then maybe a lot of them might want to do it. But in terms of making it happen, the Hamas point of view about keeping people on their land and wanting to do that is possibly the way that people are viewing it here, basically a non-starter.
So in the longer term then, Mark, how do you think it's going to go down with people in the region?
I think there are a number of factors here which say it is going to be extremely delicate, to say the very least. Trump trying to do Netanyahu some favours and trying to sort of give a little something to the far right. There's also the question of what happens to the West Bank, the other Palestinian territory, of course. There are increasing issues there. The head of the Palestinian Authority, Mahmoud Abbas, talking about genocide taking place there. That was his word. We've witnessed the ongoing military operations in places like Jenin, Tulkarm, and obviously Israeli settlers targeting Bedouin shepherds just outside Jerusalem. They are things that we've actually witnessed in terms of what's been going on at the moment. The idea that Trump has perhaps of looking at the future sovereignty of the West Bank is something he's going to consider over the next month. And that could be something that he could sort of give towards the likes of Smotrich, the finance minister, far right, urging more settlers to go into the West Bank to say, if you can keep Netanyahu in power, we'll back your ideas to go and do that, and then we'll see what happens next. But I think the fundamental issue is that Trump is talking about neighbouring countries like Egypt and Jordan taking the Palestinians in. Countries with humanitarian hearts, he says. This coming from the man who basically has a campaign of expulsing, deporting immigrants from his own country, but trying to tell others how they should run theirs. It is a very complex situation, and one that looks like it's going to get more and more complicated as we go forward.